Hello and welcome back to another video. This is round 2 of the 1970 season with my own team, and I'm starting my first flying lap. This is Jarama, the second round of this championship, and we'll see how we will end up in this race. So the first thing I noticed during practice that I'm quite a bit down on pace compared to the opponent, and as such I was expecting a relatively mild performance, especially compared to the previous round where I managed to finish in 5th place in Kyalami. So I'm expecting a widely different result on this one, probably out of the points, as I couldn't seem to find a setup that works at all. So I either had the grip in these corners and the stability on the curves and the uphill sections, but not the speed, or I had the speed but not the stability. So I was trying to find a middle ground to this and hoping to get the best out of it as I can into the final corner. So the track is very windy, lots of corners. This is pretty much the only straight we have, and later on I went out for another flying lap to see if I can make any improvements, as I was good 5 seconds off the pace, which is a lot, and was that last, even though it currently shows me 20th. That's not what we're expecting, as I saw these guys in practice and I was pretty much doing the same consistent lap times over and over, which ultimately led to me making the conclusion that it's not really going to work out in terms of qualifying pace. So again, as in the previous one, I'll be trying to rely on reliability and attrition of the other drivers. So we'll see what comes of it. And currently it's not too bad, as I'm 3 tenths up myself, trying to make it a bit more, 5 tenths into this corner. Might even end up making it a second. No, that's not gonna happen. Pretty poor exit out of the final corner, 1:24.4, and as you can see, that places me in 22nd around the end of the qualifying session, and then the Adamic finishes his lap and a good 3.2 seconds down on the lead. And it's Peltoaz taking P1, Pescadolo second, in third, Jackie Stewart fourth, Halm fifth, Eamon sixth, and here we are ready to start the race. And the light is green, the race has started, and I decided to let them go a little bit, stay behind just enough so they make it safely. It seems like everyone makes it safely through the first corner. Absolutely wonderful. Again, a bit of FPS dropping third one this time, it's also visible. And trying on the inside of the Adamic, almost making contact with one of the, I think that's a Lotus. And we're up to P21, grab him in front. This time I'm trying not to use him as a brake like I did in Kyalami. And we slip in on the inside up to P20 and almost rear-end one of the Lotus cars. That's very close, make a bit of contact with him as well. That was probably Solerog, and I got rear-ended by, I think, Graham. And and I instantly lose 2 positions, down to 22. A bit of a slip up into this corner. As we're heading towards the end of lap 1, everyone made it through without major incidents, which is really good. Apparently I've got a car on my right. Oh, there he is, coming up. That's the damage, and he's not going to be able to make a move on me, as I'm covering the inside. And then on a straight, Brabham manages to pull away. And lap 3, make a bit of contact with Brabham, but still get the overtake done. Still 22nd. And here we come up to the end of lap 3, starting lap 4, 23rd position. Definitely not a good result, as I lose the car and hit the wall for the barrier. And I decide that there's no point to this, and I retired the car. And we're going to watch how this race unfolds. We've got Jackie Oliver on P5 with the BRM. Very close to Danny Holm. Jackie Stewart only 10, all the way down, lost 6 places the first couple of laps as he's trying to go for a move on the inside of Graham Hill. Let's see if he can get this done side by side. And on the uphill, he goes round the outside. What an overtake. And Jackie Hicks is on the outside as well, but there will not be enough space for him to get the overtake done. So he remains on the P11. And we have quite a bit of a chasing back as Surtees cuts on the inside, goes past Andretti. Stommelen goes through as well. And another chasing back. Let's see, Surtees on the inside of Andretti. And he goes through. Stommelen is trying from the outside, not enough space. Joe Siffert is trying to overtake Stommelen, and he pulls it off. Rodriguez in front, leading the pack. Surtees, Siffert and Andretti. Surtees about to lose a position to, I think that's Siffert. Yeah, that must be, yeah, that's Siffert definitely. And Rodriguez is already up into the distance from this pack. He seems to have a very good pace. And we're on lap 8 into the first corner. Gavon goes a bit too deeply on the inside as Courage is about to overtake Roig, which doesn't work out. And Rodriguez is coming up on the inside of Jackie Hicks. Narrowly on the inside, and Hicks stays ahead. Still very close. Let's see if Rodriguez has the pace to overtake him on the straight. He's getting some slipstream. Goes on the outside, but he doesn't go for an overtake. He backs out of it. Makes a bit of contact with Hicks in the back. And then Surtees and Andretti battling for what seemed to be P13, 14. And Andretti gets the overtake done. He's up to P14. But Surtees is also having a crazy good pace. Despite losing 3 positions, he seems to be having a good recovery drive. He's been a bit farther back before. And he goes on the outside on the uphill section and gets the overtake done up to P14. And on lap 15, we've got quite a bit of a tussle here in the back marking positions as Brabham goes on the inside. And he still remains there, but he doesn't get the overtake done. In fact, he loses a position to Courage, who is going after Roig, and Gavon on P15, right behind George Miles. Stommelen on P16. Bertolas is in the lead. And that's Andretti out of the race. His car gave up. It seems like a suspension failure. And we have quite a battle brewing here between Jackie Stewart, Graham Hill, Bruce McLaren, and maybe Ethan would get involved in it as well, unless these guys here slow each other down enough. And Stewart is looking everywhere, but doesn't seem to be able to find the space to go for an overtake, and that's Chris Amon out of the race, straight into the barrier. That looks like a brake failure, as Stewart goes on the inside of McLaren onto the uphill section where he gets the overtake done. Graham Hill is also trying to go on the outside, and he almost goes through. And that's Pedro Rodriguez coming up as well, goes on the inside. We'll see if he'll be able to overtake Graham Hill, and he does. He's up to P9. That's an amazing drive from him today. Already 7 positions gained, and he's now going after Bruce McLaren. And that's another McLaren. That's Danny Halm. And this was the replay. Seems like another brake failure as he hit the ball. Thankfully it wasn't a big impact. And that's another car smoking on the side of the road. Johan Rindt is out of the race with an engine failure. Quite a bit of smoke coming out of the Lotus. And now Rodriguez got the overtake done while we were watching the replay. He's up to P6, starting from 16. And we've got a bit of a battle going on between Jackie Stewart and George Eaton for 4th place. And on lap 38, Rodriguez caught up with them, and it's gonna be a 3-way battle for the last 3 point scoring position. Eaton 4th, Stewart 5th, Rodriguez in 6th position right now. Very close to each other, they basically pushing each other to the corner as Stewart goes on the outside, which gives him the inside of the next corner that allows him to stay ahead of Rodriguez. And it also gives Ethan the possibility to slip away somewhat and get a bit of a breathing room. A lot of battling here, and McLaren 7th, and that's Pescarolo out of the race. Another engine failure. Here you can see him already, the engine is sending out puffs of smoke, and as he goes through this corner it also catches fire and he has to stop quickly, and that's the end of his race as well. And then Graham Hill on lap 17 with, I think, what's a suspension failure, so he's out of the race as well, as we're nearing the final 4 laps of this race. Joe Siffert on P8. A lot of people gaining positions by drivers in the first half of the pack. Getting out of the race, and Rodriguez overtook Stewart, and now he's about to lose that position as he goes on the inside. No space to finish that move, while Rodriguez is looking for ways to try and overtake Ethan, and this allows McLaren to come up. And that's Joe Siffert out of the race from P8. Huge accident. And Rodriguez on lap 44, looking a bit of contact between the 3 cars. Jackie for a double overtake. It's not to be, and Rodriguez is still there. He keeps the car there, and ultimately the positions don't change. Ethan remains third now, and that's Beltoas coming through, winning the race. Absolutely commanding 28 seconds lead. Jackie Oliver in second. George Ethan made up 7 positions. Third place, Bruce McLaren fourth, Rodriguez fifth, and Jackie Stewart sixth. The final point scoring position as they come through the finish line. Rodriguez, Stewart. Rodriguez had an absolutely amazing drive. Jackie X finished 7th, Stommelen 8th, and here are the standings. Beltoas leading with 18 points, McLaren on 7, Jackie Oliver on 6, Jackie X on 6 points as well, George Eaton 4, Danny Halm 3, Rodriguez 2, myself 2, Stewart and Peterson on 1 point. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you at the next one. Goodbye.